Everyone thought Chapter 1182 was just another Elbaph chaos chapter, until the rain started falling inside the village. And the giant said the name that turned everything into a nightmare. Zaza. Chapter 1182 is called Zaza, and the chapter makes one thing clear right away. This is not being framed like a normal character interruption. The reveal is tied to storm imagery, panic, and all giant fear about something from the lower world that dumps water on the top of your head. That is why this chapter is so interesting. It is not just about the monster appearing. It is about Elbaph's folklore suddenly becoming real in the middle of an invasion. Zaza appears during a sudden downpour in Western Village, flooding indoors, and frightened giant shouting that something is outside. The page text calls it "What We're Afraid of," God of Rain Zaza, which makes the why clear. This is a fear figure, a boogeyman, not a simple random enemy dropping. The important part is that the chapter does not present Zaza as a confirmed deity in a formal lore sense. It presents Zaza as the thing giants warn about, the scary name attached to rain, flood, and chaos. The whole reveal works because Oda layers the panic carefully. First, there is the rain, then the flooding, then the crowd screaming, and finally the visual of Zaza stomping in with a terrifying entrance. The pacing turns the scene into a myth coming alive rather than just a monster attack. The chapter also connects the fear to giant culture. The dialogue explains that in the lower world, there is a monster called Rain God that dumps water on people, and that giants above the rain clouds grew up hearing this as a terrifying story. That gives Zaza a folklore weight that makes the reveal feel bigger than the actual page count. A lot of people online jumped straight to new god reveal, but the chapter itself is more rounded than that. The name is dramatic, the entrance is dramatic, and the rain imagery is dramatic. So the fandom naturally amplified it into something much larger. That does not make the scene weak, it actually makes it better. The chapter uses legend-like name to create maximum fear, then drops it into the middle of an already unstable battle situation. This reveal lands inside a chapter full of pressure points. The holy knights, Somers, the child kidnapping attempts, the wounded, and the growing sense that Elbaph is spiraling out of control. Zaza is not isolated from plot. It appears inside the chaos, which makes the fear feel earned. The chapter also keeps the world building moving. There are comments about power struggles breeding deeper darkness in an organization lasting 800 years, and there is talk about forces beyond the five elders. Even if Zaza itself is a folklore, the chapter is clearly using it to heighten the scale of what is happening around Imu's side of the conflict. The cleanest way to explain the chapter 1182 is this: Zaza is a giant fear symbol that becomes physically present during the rain disaster in Western Village. The chapter gives it the aura of myth, but it does not yet turn into a fully explained power system or confirmed divine entity. So the real reason chapter 1182 works is not because it answered every question. It works because it took an old boogeyman from giant folklore and made the world feel bigger, stranger, and more dangerous in one single rain soup scene. And that is classic One Piece. The more absurd the name sounds, the more important it usually ends up being.